So the end cap, do we understand the points? 15 points on the end cap, 11 points on the coupling. That puts you at 26. So then you got A, B, and C. No matter what section it is, A, B, or C, there is brakes, rims, and tires. If you can ace the end cap, the coupling, and the brakes, rims, and tires, you have 33 points. After that, you need 2. That's a fucking fuel tank and a battery box. Bam. But aim, you gotta aim for 100% because you're gonna miss something for sure. All right, so I just finished my end cap, coupling. My red line is my emergency/supply line. My blue line is my service line. Both lines are connected end to end. There's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. They don't appear to be leaking. They are secured to the trailer with a glad hand and a glad hand seal. My glad hand is not cracked or broken, not leaking. My glad hand seal is just leaking, it's not leaking. My electrical line is secured from end to end. It's not cut, burned, frayed, spliced, or taped. It is connected to the trailer with a pigtail and a safety latch. The safety latch is not cracked or broken. The pigtail has no corrosion. All 3 of my lines have enough slack to make turns, and they are not dragging it against the catwalk-ish. All right, my 5th wheel. My first part is my platform. Securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. All my mounting bolts. Securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. This is a sliding 5th wheel. Those right there are my locking pins. Those are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, in the lock position. My 5th wheel skid plate, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, well greased. My trailer apron, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. There's no daylight between the skid plate and the apron. They are sitting flush with each other. My release handle, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, in the lock position. That controls my locking jaws. My locking jaws are securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, and they are wrapped around the shank of the kingpin. My kingpin is not securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. And I think that's all. Okay, coupling is done. Section A. First, I'm going to check my lights. My 5 lights up top, the 3 in the middle are identification lights. The 2 on the outside are my clearance lights. They're all the proper color. They're securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. I've got headlights and turn signals and 4-ways. They're all securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. And would you mind checking them for me if I cycle through my lights? Make sure you stay on my good side, please. Oh, come on. Huh?
I didn't know you're still looking for it.
All right, I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna check all my hoses. Everything is secured from end to end. There's no abrasion, bulge, or cuts, and there is no evidence of anything leaking. I've got an alternator. It is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. All of those electrical wires leading to and from that alternator are all secured from end to end. They're not cut, burned, frayed, spliced, or taped. My belt is not worn, torn, or frayed. It has no more than a 1/4 inch of free play in the center of the belt. This is my oil dipstick. That's how I will check my oil. This is my fill tube. If I'm low on oil, I will add a gallon at a time and I will recheck. My water pump, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking, gear driven. Over here, I'm going to check all my hoses again. Everything is secured from end to end. There's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and there's no evidence of anything leaking. Coolant reservoir, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. It is filled to the proper level. The cap is on tight. The cap is not leaking. Did I say fuel? Did I say coolant?
You said coolant.
Okay. My fuel system, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. My power steering reservoir, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. Cap is on tight. It's filled to the proper level. My power steering pump, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. It is also gear driven. My air compressor, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. It is also gear driven. My steering gearbox, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. My pitman arm, my drag link, my upper control arm, my lower control arm, and my tie rod. They are all securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. They're well greased, and they are secured all with castle nuts and cotter pins. My suspension, I have a front suspension hanger. I also have a rear suspension hanger back there. They are both securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. On the rear suspension hanger, there's something back there called a shackle. The shackle is well greased. My leaf springs, there's no more than 25% cracked, none broken or missing, no damage to the mainspring. They are secured to the axle with a saddle and U-bolts. Securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. If anything was loose, I'd see shiny metal between the saddle and U-bolts. My shock is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. Secured on top and bottom with nuts, bolts, and soft rubber bushings, and it is not leaking. All right, brakes. My air hose, securely mounted from end to end, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, not leaking. Single brake chamber on the steer axle, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. My brake chamber is connected to my slack adjuster with a push rod, a clevis, a pin, and a cotter pin. They are all securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. My slack adjuster is well greased. It has no more than 1 inch of free play with my wheels chalked and my brakes released. Inside here, I got my brake shoes. There is a minimum of a 1/4 inch friction material remaining. They are free of grease, oil, obstruction, and debris. If there is any grease or oil in there, that would be a sign of an inner seal leak. My brake drum. My brake drum is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds, and round. I'm going to check all 3 sides of this tire. There's no abrasion, bulge, or cuts. It doesn't appear to be leaking. I have even tread wear across the top, and I have the same size and type tire across the axle. My tread depth on this tire is a minimum of 4/32. These tires cannot be recapped. My tire pressure here needs to be between 100 and 110. I will check it cold with a tire gauge only. My valve stem, straight, metal, capped, and not leaking. My rim, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds. All my lug nuts are present and tight. If I had a loose lug nut on a steel wheel like this, I'll see rust trails coming out of the bottom of the lug nut. If I have a loose lug nut on an aluminum wheel, I will see a white powdery substance coming out of the bottom of it. My hub seal is securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken. There's no evidence of anything leaking. If there was a leak out here, that would be a sign of an outer seal leak. If there's a sight glass, I'll check the fluid level through the sight glass. If not, I will remove the rubber stopper and I will stick a tool in there, and I'm looking for 1 inch of oil, and I think that is all of A. All right, let me go talk to that girl in